Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be reviewing the Thunderobot G80 gaming controller, which is available on Amazon for $76, and it comes in two colors. It's a Hall effect controller with swappable joystick modules. I am reviewing the Ultimate Edition of this controller, which comes with 4 joystick modules with different tightness levels. I have used controllers with adjustable joysticks, but this is my first time using a controller which has swappable joystick modules. It's compatible with PC, iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch. And inside the box, you will find the charging dock with a USB Type-C port. This controller has 3 modes of connectivity, that is 2.4 GHz wireless, Bluetooth, and wired mode. And inside this charging dock, you will find the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle. The size of the dongle is pretty small. We will test the polling rate and latency of this controller ahead in this video. You will get a user manual, a guide, and a quality inspection card. You will also get a tool for pulling out the joystick module. You will find 4 extra joystick modules inside the box. There is one blue replacement module with a tightness level of 540 grams of force. And there are 2 white-colored joystick modules that have a tightness level of 320 GF. And it has one black-colored joystick module with a tightness level of 1880 GF. And the controller's default joystick modules have a tightness level of 700 GF. And you will get 2 additional medium-length thumbsticks. This package also includes an extra D-pad, which is concave and circular. There is a cool-looking faceplate as well. The Type-C cable is not braided, but the quality is acceptable. And finally, inside the box, you will find the controller itself. This controller feels comfortable in hands. It weighs 253 grams. Its dimensions are almost same as an Xbox X controller. It has a matte black finish with a solid build. This controller doesn't make any rattling sound, even when I shook it vigorously. The handles are textured for a better grip. It has 4 extra buttons, 2 on the back side and 2 on the shoulder. And you can save different macro settings for these buttons. And with the help of this switch, you can choose the preferred connectivity mode. The joysticks feel good. The sticks have metal rings for reducing friction. The joysticks would have been great if the thumb caps were a little bit more softer. But it's not a big deal, you can just change the thumb caps as they are swappable. This controller also has an audio jack, so you can use your headphones with it. Replacing the thumbstick modules is easy. You just have to pry open the magnetic faceplate and choose the preferred joystick module. Remove the thumbsticks and pull out the joystick module with the help of the tool. Attach the thumbstick assembly onto the replacement joystick module and place it back into the controller. But make sure to properly align the pins of the module before placing it inside. And you can repeat the same steps for replacing the other joystick module. The D-pad is also swappable, but I will not be changing it. I have also replaced the faceplate with the additional faceplate that came along with the package. It has a silverish gray-colored circular D-pad, which feels pretty much nice. This controller has optical micro switches, and the ABXY buttons make a satisfying clicking sound, and they feel comfortable on the fingertips. In addition to this, the controller has a menu, capture, view, home, an M button, and the function button. This controller has a dual mode trigger. One is a Hall effect analog trigger, while the other is a micro switch. You can easily toggle between them using the slide switch at the backside. The triggers and shoulder buttons are both textured and they feel comfortable. This controller has a multi-purpose charging dock. For using this charging dock effectively, Insert the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle into the USB-A port inside the charging dock and connect it to the PC via the Type-C cable. In this way, you will not have to use an additional USB-A port for the wireless dongle. And when the controller is placed onto this charging dock, it automatically shifts to charging mode. It has an 860 mAh battery with a charging time up to 2.5 hours and playtime of 8 to 10 hours according to Thunderobot. This charging dock has RGB lights on the base, and you can set different colors by using the button at the backside. This controller has both handle and trigger vibration, which is quite strong, especially for the handles. You can easily adjust the vibration level by pressing the M button along with pressing up or down on the D-pad. This controller in total has 4 levels of vibration that you can choose from. For adjusting the trigger vibration, press the M button along with both of the triggers for 3 seconds. You can cycle through different vibration levels by repeating this process. If you want to use the controller effectively, reading the user manual is a must. By using the key combos in the manual, you will be able to change the settings of this controller. And while adjusting the settings, you will have to pay attention to the RGB light between the ABXY buttons. In addition to aesthetics, different colors and modes of this light represent different settings. By pressing different combinations of buttons, you can use the turbo function, set macros, toggle between square or circular joystick modes, and adjust the dead zone along with other settings. You can also use the Keylinker app to change settings of this controller. I used the X-Input software to measure the polling rate and latency. The polling rate for the wide mode was over 1000 and the latency was 0.9 milliseconds. These numbers are very promising, and on paper, this is a very fast controller. But to see its actual performance, we will play different games ahead in this video. And the polling rate for the wireless mode was just over 500 Hz and the latency was 1.9 milliseconds. And even in the wireless mode, this controller is pretty fast. Keep in mind, this test might be not 100% accurate, but it will give you a ballpark figure. It has Hall effect joysticks with 0 dead zone, but you can adjust the center dead zone up to 8%. The joysticks feel very accurate and responsive. I am a fan of circular D-pads, and in this controller, it performs quite well. It was accurate and there were no unintended presses observed. And while pressing all of the other buttons, I did not observe any visible latency or lag. The left trigger by default has a 10% error, and the right trigger has a 0.2% error. You can switch the stick output trajectory between 10% error rate, which is square, and 0% error rate, which is a true circle. So you can adjust the triggers according to your gaming style or the game type. In this part of the video, I will show you the actual performance of this controller while playing different games. While playing Halo, this controller performed exceptionally well. The microswitch triggers with vibration felt amazing. All the buttons were accurate and no visible latency was observed. So I am satisfied by the performance of this controller while playing an FPS game. Now, I will demonstrate the performance of this controller while playing Tekken 8. To properly play a fighting game, having a fast controller with an accurate D-pad and comfortable ABXY buttons is a must. And this controller checks all these boxes. The controller felt comfortable in my hand and it was very responsive. In my opinion, this controller is also good for fighting games. While using the controller to play Tomb Raider, I did not notice any lag. The buttons were responsive and the joysticks were accurate. However, one thing I did not like is that the thumb caps are a bit too hard and may cause a problem if you intend to play for an extended period. In that case, I suggest swapping them for some softer thumb caps. Now I will show you the performance of this controller while playing Forza Horizon 5. I recommend using the joystick module with a higher tightness level. The analog Hall effect triggers feel satisfying while playing this game, and the vibration in the triggers enhances the immersive gaming experience. The car handles well and the throttle response is also good, and there is no visible lag. Therefore, if you are looking for a controller to play racing games, this controller can be a reasonable choice. My concluding remarks about this controller are that it's a complete package. The fast response time, swappable joystick modules, dual Hall effect and micro switch triggers, optical face buttons, extra macro buttons, and customizable settings make this controller a suitable choice in today's highly competitive controller market. And this was all about today's review. I tried to explain the features of this controller in a simple way. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So till next time, have a good one.